What were you doing prior to finding Family First Life?
So a couple things, right? Started in restaurants forever. That's my first job was a pizzeria. I was a counter girl.
Yeah.
Built up to serving, again, waitress life, and then bumped up to bartending. Bartended for years, New York City. I mean,
Yeah.
you name it, I did it. And then I went.
How long did you bartend for?
I want to say 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 11, 12 years. Yeah. Then got into management, then got into opening bars, designing bars, training bartenders, doing all that. But the hours is kind of what I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I had a passion for it, but the hours, 2, 3 a.m. nights, I was like so over it.
You get burnt out after a while.
Like a lot, and then I missed things on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
Like family stuff, holidays. It was just I was over it.
So you did that for about 12 years. Where did you go to after that?
And then after that, I finally, I called mom. I was like, hey, I'm moving to Florida.
Okay.
She was like...
Your mom lived in Florida?
No, she lived here. I didn't want to be up here anymore, the winters, stuff like that. So then I was looking for jobs online, Indeed, things like that. I was like, what can I do that's not in restaurants?
Yeah.
Right? So then I found solar.
Okay.
And then I had a friend up here that was doing solar. I was asking him about it, things like that. And he did warn me that it was hard, and I was like, well, I'll try it.
Okay.
Right? I just didn't want to be in a restaurant. I just didn't. And I knew I could always fall back on bartending.
Yeah.
But then when I found solar, did the interview, hired me right away, of course, because now I know.
Right.
I was like, I got hired.
Did they do one of those, like, we're only hiring a few people, we can only take on a few more? And
I'm like, at that point, they would hire the guy, like, I don't know, whatever. So, then I got into solar, and we know that was door to door. That's where I kind of got my sales experience.
Okay. How long did you do that for?
Probably 10 months, maybe.
Okay.
8, 9, 10
And you
months.
moved to Florida to do this?
Yeah.
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 What was it like selling solar door to door in Florida?
Guys. Humbling. It was very, it was hard. It was hot.
Yeah.
I was the only girl out of 30 dudes in this company, and they're all doing push-ups and like contests and all this. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, what is that? I was like, I'm not doing push-ups. Like, I don't know what we're doing here, but that was just the culture. And like, I was in sports forever too, so I understood that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But they pump you up before you go out to the field.
Yeah.
Right?
So is this one of those companies where they would just drop you off in a neighborhood?
No, I mean, we drove, and that was another thing. Like, I was driving more than an hour to the neighborhoods that I was assigned, and again, it was just not great. And then on top of it, I didn't get paid.
What do you mean you didn't get paid?
I did not get paid for like almost 10 months.
Sure, and you were selling?
Yeah. I was setter, so door knocker. He said, they would throw me $1,000, $2,000 here and there as an advance.
Yeah.
And I would be like, guys, like, how do you expect people to live off this? Like, I can't. I have rent to pay, I have grocery, I have gas to put in my car to get to these, neighborhoods, and it was just so unsustainable. And then I drained my bank account. I went, I drained all my funds, maxed out all my credit cards.
Wow.
Just to live. And then, and I was just like.
In your job, you said you were the setter. So what did you do? You were the first one to go to the door?
Yeah, so I was, exactly. I would just set the appointments. And then, it was the whole, we're going to make you a closer. We're going to make you a closer. I promise you're going to be a closer. I'm like, and then all these deals would close. And I'm like, okay, well, now what? Oh, you'll get paid next. Oh, you'll get this. You'll get that. I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, this doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
So with that whole thing, it just like, I got really like.
How much of your own money did you burn through?
A lot, like $50K.
Really? Mm-hmm. And you're just making $1,000 here and there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was the whole promises, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you'll get this. Don't worry. You'll put your pipeline, build your pipeline, and I was.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, like let's do this, and I was
building your like recruiting people.
No,
or just building your pipeline of clients.
Just closes and appointments and things like that, and I had it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the company goes under. One of the head guys gets like disappears.
Yeah.
It was just really strange, and I was just like, okay, well, do I like get paid?
Yeah.
And then like, poof, everything like disappeared.
Wow. So you're there for 10 months, barely making any money.
Yep.
Where'd you go from there?
That's when I had to move out of my apartment. I couldn't like afford my rent anymore. Like it was really bad.
Yeah.
Like I was, my first time ever asking my parents really to help me with rent. Like that was
humbling.
Yeah. I mean, talk about like going from up here to way down here. And I was like, what the heck do I do now?
Right.
So again, back on Indeed, back on the job search, found the Medicare office.
And this is what, a few years ago?
So I started FFL May 2024. I started Medicare January. So I was only doing Medicare for a few months.
Okay. Got it.
But that drive, that commute was...
You're still in Florida?
I'm still in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still in Miami. But the whole commuting to the Medicare office, and again, I was only making $700 a week, and I was like,
oh God,
this
you were probably making more bartending.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So I was like, okay, now I have to find a bartending job on the weekends, which again, I didn't really mind.
Yeah.
Like whatever, it would have been fine. But then again, Mike just, and then I got introduced to Mike, and he was super persistent. With the recruiting side. And,
how'd you get introduced to him?
So I was friends with my friend Rachel, and she introduced me. She's like, Mike does life insurance, and I think he does pretty well.
Yeah.
Let me introduce you. And I was like, anything. I was like, okay, sure. Like that sounds great. So right away, and sometimes with things like that, it's okay, yeah, sure. I'll it doesn't really happen.
Right.
It was the next morning I got an email from him. Like it was super quick. And then we hopped on like a Zoom call on a Saturday morning, kind of told me a little bit about the business, what he does. But like for me, I didn't really want to make the jump right then and there because I'm like, I still need a consistent job. I was basically terrified of 1099 because, of what I went through.
Well, you just had two that didn't go well, right?
Oh my gosh.
Did you make any money selling Medicare?
So Medicare was a little bit different, right? So it was all inbound leads.
Okay. So you did have leads.
Yeah. So it was 9 to 6 you would work. But it was like, they had a weird like structure. So it was like first 5 deals were like $40. Then after 5, I don't know. It was like a tier structure with the closes. But I ended up doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But again, like just the commute that I was doing, the money that I was spending to get there, I was like, this isn't.
How far was the commute?
An hour and a half.
Every day, back and forth.
Every day. And I don't know if you know what that Florida traffic's like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's so bad. So, yeah, did that for a few months. And then I think really the remote position that this was offering was definitely the biggest, one of the biggest aspects to me wanting to actually do it because I didn't want to do that. It was just draining, again. And, Mike, he showed me, real numbers. He showed me his platforms and what he does and how he actually, does the work.
Was there any part of you that was thinking like, this sounds just like the last deal and the one before. Here we go again.
Yeah, I mean, but he knew that because I told him my story too. I was like, hey, look, like I just, I'm in some serious, financial crisis right now that like I didn't trust anybody because, what I just went through with the whole solar company, I was devastated.
Right.
Seriously. And it was like, I don't know if I can do this, but his like, I don't know if you know Mike, but he's like so genuine. And it was like, he just made me, he was like, I'm not going to let you fail. Like, come on, like you can do this, and I finally was like, all right, screw it. Quit my job literally like the next day, flew up here, I think like 2 days later.
So you moved back here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the summer, right. For the summer. So, because I moved back up here to test and do the exam again.
Yeah.
And then again, I took the Connecticut exam. And then
so tell everybody about, so at this time, you're a Florida resident, but you come up to Connecticut, you take the Connecticut state test. Yeah. And what happened?
And then we're like trying to figure out the contracting.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, what's going on? Like, how come I can't find my license? Like but I already had an NPN, right? So when you go to register, they give you the NPN. And I'm like, but wait a minute, I already have one for my health. And then we like did all this research and we're like, oh wait.
Took the wrong test.
Took the wrong test. But it was funny. But I was like, thank God it was me. It was me that did this.
Yeah.
And now we know when we have recruits.
So would you then? You had to go to Florida to take the test in person.
Back to Florida.
So this one's costing you money before you even get started. You're flying back and forth.
Yeah, but it was just, it's like at that point, like Mike and James, James Pizzaglia, they were so great with me. Like they're the ones that have 100% gotten me to this point. And it was more like I can't fail them. I can't let them down in a sense.
Oh, you felt like you owed them, kind of.
Well, it was just I didn't want to fail.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's A, embarrassing. B, like I don't. And like, C, it's just like, let's figure this out so we can get started. Like that's all.
Got it. So you go to Florida, you get the license, and then what? Come back here?
Yeah, I must have because I didn't move back into my apartment until the January of the following year. So yeah, I was up here for a few more months.
And this is, you said, what, around May?
Yeah.
May. What was it like your first week out? Because this is different, right? This is, I mean, you've done door knocking, you've done Medicare, but life insurance sales on leads is completely different. That's why when people come, I've been in sales for so long, I'll be great. You probably won't be.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you can forget everything that you think you know. Yeah. So what was it like early on, first time getting on the phone, talking to clients?
So I obviously had a little bit of experience because Medicare was all inbound leads.
Okay.
So I wasn't nervous about speaking on the phone. For me, it was more like product knowledge. Where do I take? What do I do? I don't know anything about who's gonna prove underwriting in a sense, right? So I was a little bit a slow burner when it came to actually learning. I wasn't afraid to get on the phones.
Yeah.
But what I kind of implemented here was fronting. So in Medicare, before you're able to close deals, you have to kind of go as far as you can with the call.
Okay.
And then you transfer it over to an agent.
Got it.
Who will then close the call.
Yeah.
So when I first started, that's what I did with Mike a lot, right?
Okay.
So I would take my calls as far as I could, and then I would get him on the line. I'd be like, hey, I have, say they have diabetes or high blood, whatever, something simple. I would kind of be like, hey, my supervisor or my head underwriter is a diabetes specialist. He knows exactly what, carriers and products that, will take that or accept that, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
To put you in the best position possible, I would, if you don't mind, I'd like to get him on the phone with us.
Got it.
Nobody's going to say no.
Right.
Right. They, you want to do what's right for them. So that's what I would do. That's how I started. And then I would just get him in. He would introduce himself, and then I would just listen to the close.
So you were learning literally while you're working.
Yep.
While you're on with the client, you're learning from Mike.
Yep. Exactly. And then I would just listen to the close. I would, kind of make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Hey, I'm still on the line with you.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that worked for us for a while.
How long did you do that for?
Probably a couple months until I was obviously ready to go the full way. But it just kind of helped me get a little bit more comfortable on the phone, asking questions.
Yeah.
What questions to ask really. But that's kind of how I shifted into actually closing my own deals.
Got it. Okay. And then this year, I mean, like I said earlier in the podcast, you're at 175,000. This is as of halfway through July, so probably a little bit more now. But a massive jump from the year before.